Hello, hello. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, and it looks like Twitch is working today, which is nice. Something I wasn't expecting. Turns out Twitch doesn't like AV1, and that was my mistake to set up the encoder for AV1, which H.264 works okay. I see we are live. Same goes for YouTube. And we have a first person on the chat. Welcome, welcome, Rudo Brody. Nice, good to have you here. Thanks for coming, thanks for joining. We have a beautiful day today, raining like hell. Oh, that's fine. Just a quick check on the YouTube and Twitch. Okay, seems to be fine for now. Okay, so on Monday, we finally managed to do the info JSON and it worked okay. So today I wanted to continue and to finally dig into the CAD and start changing all the keys over here, because right now Chordie looks a little bit different. So as you can see, there are no keys over here, like these two. These are the ones that I'm planning to add. But before I do that, there's one more thing I wanted to do. And yes, we will be coding again, but not much, I promise. And I hope I won't break anything. I hope the stream will be still live after I'm done compiling the code. But there's one thing I wanted to show you, but we need to do some coding first. So let's dive into the source code. So some time ago, when I was preparing all this stuff, I decided to use this feature from QMK, which is called HID. I think it stands for Human Interface Device, and it's part of USB, or maybe that's the USB. I don't really know, and it's not really important that much. What is important is that it allows you to send data to the keyboard and as well as read data from the keyboard. So I use that to send the state of the keyboard, which keys are pressed, and then I am reading it on my PC, and I am able to display like a layout of the keyboard and mark which keys are being pressed. But I only done that for Chordie, and it used to work before, but that was a long time ago, and currently I can't really vouch for this code. But who knows, maybe it will work. Maybe if it doesn't, maybe it won't really need much work today. I really wanted to start doing CAD. Kind of fed up already with coding in C and dealing with all those files and stuff. But anyway, I digress. So maybe I will first show you what is it about, this HID stuff. So if you go to QMK, and we can search for HID. It's called raw HID. Okay. So this is how it looks like. We can read about it a little. So it's a communication between QMK and the host computer over an HID interface. Okay, so that's more or less what I said. And if we want to enable it, in our rules MK, we have to set raw enable yes. So maybe I will do that right now. Yeah, so as you can see, I have it, but I have it commented out because when I was like fixing the keyboard, fixing all the JSON stuff, and that wasn't really necessary. And also for the default layout, there is no function or anything that supports this communication. So I decided to just disable it. So now I can enable it, save this file. Let's check what else we need to do. Okay, basic configuration. Okay, so we don't have to change that. It's already predefined. Yeah, and then there is this thing how to use it, because you need something that will be able to communicate. So obviously you need some kind of a library or something like that. And I decided to use Python because it's, easy, fast, and it's way faster to write something and get a result compared to C++. So that's what I did. And one more thing is that in QMK, you can have this function raw HID receive. And I think there is also send. Yes, over here, there is send. So we can receive data from the PC or from the host, to be more precise. And we can also send some data back to the host. So for example, host can ask for what key is being pressed now, and we can send just like the coordinates in the matrix. So my code looks like this. So we have row enabled. And if we go to Chordie, this is schema chordie.c. I think I left it, or maybe in the matrix. Okay, in the matrix. So I wanted to send all the data about the matrix in one go, because there isn't many keys. So that's something very simple to do. And I decided to do it 16 times a second. So this corresponds to 60 frames per second. So it's like 60 milliseconds. So this is this buffer delay. And then I have used buffered matrix because it doesn't really make sense to send the matrix every time, because the matrix is being refreshed very, very fast. And we don't need to send all this data to the PC every time the matrix is being read. So I decided to read it only, I'm reading the matrix all the time, but this buffered matrix, I will only update every 60 milliseconds. So when when the host is asking for the data, it will only get whatever was buffered like 60 milliseconds ago, more or less like that. So if you look a little bit further, yes, here is my function that is receiving data. And then it will check which type of data it is. As far as I can remember, I have two types. Yeah, looking at it. So if the first byte is A, then I will get the data about the keys. And if it's B, then I will get the mouse report. So this will tell me what is the position of the, like a ball, or if I'm using a trackpad, what is the delta X and Y. So this is where I'm sending the data. So I am creating the response. So I'm just using the buffered matrix and just shifting the data. And the same goes for the mouse report. And then it's being sent. And then I should show you how does it look like on the Python side. It's a bit messy here. Yeah, so I am using Python game or py game just to display everything. It's not really much code, and it's rather simple. Yes, I have some classes for the mouse, for the keys, and so on, but the code is really bad. I just wrote it very fast. I just wanted it to work. So there's not much to show over here. And honestly, I'm not quite sure if it still works. Yeah, but this is where I'm reading the data. So get keyboard status, get mouse status. So I'm preparing the data. So 41 is A, if I remember correctly. Let's check the ASCII table. No, it's an exclamation over here, decimal, but still not. Okay, one more check. 41 and 42. Ah, it's hex. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, it's A and B, 41 and 42. So this is something like a small data packet that is being sent and then received. Okay, so let's try compiling and flashing the new firmware with this HID working. Of course, I have to bring back the virtual machine, and most probably it won't be working. And I was supposed to change it, and I didn't have time. Oh well. Yeah, it says it's running. Oh, there is still connection. Unusual. What is it really? Okay, so there is internet. What's the IP? Okay, it's different again. I really wanted to try WSL. I wonder if it works fast. Maybe it will be like a better option than working on a VM. Okay, let me just quickly reconnect. Okay. So I think that's all with the code. We don't really need to change anything else. I think just the rules MK is enough. So let's send it. And please compile. Okay. Okay, looks like it's flashed, so I can use the keyboard. So far, so good. So there's one more thing. I have the app that is like drawing everything and showing all the keys being pressed. And if it doesn't blow up, then technically it should work. Okay, so it looks like this. Not the prettiest thing in the world. Let me just move it somewhere else. Okay, but we won't be looking at it that much. I have something special. Okay, and the banner is a bit interrupting. Yeah, we'll just remove it for now. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, seems like it's working. And I will just add one more thing. I have a key display, a really nice app. It's called Kiwis by Rajul Mula. It's a very nice app. I like it a lot. Okay, so it can show what key was pressed. Okay, so maybe I will swap the keyboards now. There you go. Chordie in action. I think my app just switched off because it only works if this particular keyboard is connected. Let's do a quick check. Okay, looks like it's okay. It's not showing everything. Okay, so it's not really working. Yeah, definitely needs some work. Yep. Okay, we're not gonna bother with it today. Okay, so I guess we can skip this part. Maybe we can take a look at it on Friday or maybe some other stream. What is happening here? What's wrong with the data? Obviously, it's sending too much or just reading too much or reading wrongly. Also, some things might have changed after we changed the info JSON file. So that's fine. I'm not gonna bother with it today. Okay, good thing is that Chordie is working. I can finally put it to work. Okay, I've been a little bit rusty with it. So maybe I can give you like a glimpse. How does it look like with all the chords? Yeah, so more or less this is how it looks like when you want to output specific letters. So for example, the kind of like a bass is arst, neo, however you call it. So these are the keys that you don't have to really chord with anything. You just get them straight out from the keyboard. Yeah, but everything else mostly is a chord of two keys, sometimes maybe three. But it's not that difficult. Definitely less difficult than it looks like. And it's not really that much time to get used to it. Okay, so let's get to work. This one is like a prototype or more like a test print that I did. So I was just curious how it's gonna look like when I have those two keys outside. And it kind of felt okay. So I guess what I will do now, I will just start new part in this project, and it's only the right side. No, sorry, it's only the left side that will be changing. So we don't really have to work on the right side. So that's good. So let me just start a new one. Let's call it left. Extended maybe. I forgot an X. Oh, like this. All right. So we can take this part from over here maybe. Okay, so we need the base. Okay, so we have the base for now. The question is which one I will be working first, encoder, I mean trackpad or trackball. Okay, it doesn't I forgot, doesn't matter because it's the left side. Okay, anyways, so we need to have the volume because it's the left side. I think I called it 35 because it's 35 millimeters. So these are all the parts. So I will just copy everything. And we can hide this. And we can also hide this. Okay, then we need sockets. I think I will go with MX or maybe chalk. Let's start with MX. Okay, so I have sockets separately, and then I also have the extension. So it's the part that goes from the bottom of the socket all the way to the top plate. So I would just have to put this as well. So it was called column extension. All right. So I will just do copy on this. And now I can copy the extensions as well. Okay, so far so good. There is one more thing missing, and that's the infrared. This one also is split between two versions of the keys because it looks different for MX. It's a bit taller, and for the chalk, it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, as you can see, this is due to the height of the switch and the columns for the switch and everything. So obviously MX is taller, so I need to have the sensor a little bit higher up. Okay, I will skip chalk for now. We can always add it later. Okay, so it's looking good so far. I think I had a small note what to fix in this keyboard. Let me just refresh my memory. If I can find it. Okay, so I put a note to enlarge the wire canals. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we have the RP2040 back. As I mentioned before, maybe the fact that we put the I2C init outside of the function that was user post keyboard init or something like that, maybe this will fix it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe like during the stream, if it crashes, then I will know. Okay, so looks like only the wire canals need to be changed, but that's something for later. Okay, so this is more or less the original one. But what we need to do, we have to move the volume a little bit. So I can do it like this because I have all those pieces in one group. So I can just select the group, press M for move, and I can just move it away. So now I have to add those two keys. So I think I should go back to this group and just copy and paste. Okay, this one actually, so I used the wrong one. So maybe I just do 90. Okay, because these are rotated a little, 90 degrees, and these are correct. So I should have used this one, but I have this key already, so it's fine. Let me just go back to my test one and see how I put those keys. Okay. Okay, so I left some space over here because this key is usually bigger. It's 1.25, like the height is bigger. But I can't remember if I didn't switch to the smaller one. Okay, let's leave it like that. I will print it and then we can compare if it's okay or not. Okay, so we have this one aligned. So I will copy it one more time. And just move it minus. Where is the minus? Oh, it's over here. Minus 19.05. Oh, Treasure11, thanks for following. Nice, thank you very much. Thank you, bro. My very first follower. Yay! So 7 more to go, and we'll be making side project. Okay, so we have those keys. It looks okay. So I can hide this. Maybe we can get rid of the volume for now. Okay, so we need to do the columns as well, like this. So maybe I can just take one from here. I need to go back to the columns. If I do 1905, okay, it's fine. And then I can press A and then make it up to here. So this cut has very nice feature to move stuff around because I can select the whole shape or the whole piece. And there are various points. Yeah, I hope so as well. Thanks, Treasure. So there are various points that you can attach or anchor this gizmo. So I set up a shortcut. So if I press A, then I can choose like edge, or maybe, vertex. This is edge, or I can select a wall like here. And then I can, depending which way I want to go, I can just select this direction. And then I can just select this, which says up to. And then I can choose up to what. For example, I want to move it all the way to here, up to this wall. I can do like this, and it's already moved. Okay, let's go back. Maybe you can do small intro to this app one day, because it's very nice. It's free, and you can use it for commercial projects as well. And basically, it's almost without limitations, but there are some still. And there's a paid version. Actually, they have like 2 tiers. So we have the 3. You have the free one, and then you have 2 that are paid. So I just copy and paste another column. So I can move it, for example, all the way here. And then I can press A for anchor. I can select this wall. I can select this direction because I want to move it in this direction. I can press U, which means up to. I think I also set up this as a shortcut, or maybe it's by default. And then I can show where I want to move it. So up to this wall, and it's done. Okay, so this is how our columns look like. And now I think we have to add something to the bottom plate. Let's look from the bottom. It looks like it's kind of sticking out. For example, I can check if things are overlapping. So I can just hold Control. I can select this wall and this wall. Okay, the distance is 0.6. But if I can also see what is the exact distance. I can do like up, I can do ruler. It's 0.6. Okay, but it's like behind. Okay, so that's not an issue. I can just select this wall and move it up to here. Okay, now it's aligned. Okay. So let's jump to the base, and we can try to draw something. How can we approach that to make it look good? If I do a line over here, okay, we can do like 90 degrees. And another 90 here. Okay, let's see what do we have here. So now I can extrude all the way to here. Okay, one thing that we can do for sure is to drag these all the way to the bottom. But since this is part of the base, I can do it this way. I can select this wall and do copy and paste. And then I can pull it. Okay, so we have that like field. I will do the same with this one. And just select, pull, and all the way up. Okay. Then there is this part, like a gap between this and this. We can either do it like this, or just maybe like that. Okay, let's go like this 90 degrees all the way. Let me just grab water. Okay. So I think now it will be a good moment to take a look at the volume controller. And maybe we can try to align it somehow. How does it look like from the top? I can do zoom. And I think I also had a feature to draw. Okay, yeah. How can we make it look kind of nice, neat? I think I went too far with this wall. Let's see what's the distance between this wall. I can do W if I do move and W. Okay, maybe this way. Okay, so it's 5.36. Is it the same for all? Oh yes, looks like it's the same. Okay, so maybe I can just move it to the same distance. So it's 5.36. Okay, not bad, not bad. Almost artist. And if we take a look over here, makes me wonder what is the distance from here. Okay, it's 6. Okay, it's 5.9 from the edge. So like 5 millimeters I would consider to be the minimum to use it freely. So my finger won't collide with anything. Like for example with the knob. But maybe we can just align it a little bit better. So I can select the whole thing, make it move, and just press A and select this wall. And I want to move it all the way to here. Okay, so now it's better. Okay. I think I will move this wall all the way to this edge. Make it look better. It looks like the both streams are good. And now it would be nice to finish it somehow. Well, we can always do like a bigger encoder. I mean the knob, because encoder is always the same size. But if you make it bigger, then it will be sticking too much. It's because it's already like at the edge of this part, and I really don't want it to be any bigger. It was supposed to be small keyboard. How can we do it? If we make a line, hmm. if I do 45 to here, and I can just, how does it called? Project. So I can just project this line, and now when I go back, I have the enclosed shape. Okay, it's kind of taking shape. Maybe I should fill this gap. Let's take a look. It doesn't look that good. Also, I'm not quite sure if I can move the encoder a little bit lower. I mean, there's still plenty of space because my thumb is not really sticking out. But there's a risk. I have rather small hands. Someone with bigger hands might have an issue. I guess I will leave it like that. What if we make something that is a little bit cut? If we do like 45 from here. Doesn't look good in my opinion. Oh, there is some empty space here. But if we take a look how keys are like occupying space, Okay, so I have the key outlines. So that's one key. So this is 125. And this one I usually make 1.5. So technically it should be bigger. So I think it will be reaching all the way to here. So then this gap is not that big anymore. Can't make up my mind if I like this shape or not. Yeah, I guess having it full makes sense because there's no point doing like 45 degrees or anything like that. I think it's only reserved for the edge, like over here. And this is like the center. Also before I had it like with an empty space, but basically that was the encoder is like attachment. So that was kind of okay. Well, it still is an attachment, but now with a different shape, it's a little bit different in my opinion. Because without it, it looks kind of odd. I would have to also remove this. Yeah, and then it doesn't look too good. There's nothing I can do over here. So if I do like a full, then it stays like that. Also, if we take a look, there are those canals for the wires over here. And maybe I can just quickly do like a slice. I can put a plane and then just move it a little bit. So I can move it all the way to the midpoint of this wall. And then I can just do line and you can see all the wires. I mean, all the canals for the wires. Yeah, so there would be a little bit of an issue because before the canal was here. So part of the wires was routed from here and the other part from here. But over here, I have something to attach the wire, but I can move it to the other side. That's not an issue. So I think I'll have to close this. Move this one and this canal can stay where it is. Maybe I can move it to the center a little. Yeah, makes sense. And then these two, I will have to route it as well. So maybe one canal over here. And this one, I'm not quite sure because it's one over here and this one collides in a way. I think I can move it a little bit down. Okay, let's see how it looks like in 3D. So the canal is here, but over here is blocked because I have this thing. So it's used to attach the wire for the ground. But we can move it, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna move this hook or like attachment part. So I will just make unnamed component and then I can just do the slice from the plane. So I can project this, these edges, and then maybe I can just connect. I wonder if I can have the whole shape at once. I think I'll have to remove this one. Okay. So let's rotate 180. Put the anchor on this wall. And you want to move it all the way to here. Okay, looks good. So I have to enable the base if I want to cut from it. And it's done. That was fast. Let's take a look. Something's not quite right. Okay, I get it, because I did it at the level of the plane, which is midpoint. So I have to pull it up, because if you take a look from the bottom of the base to here is 0.6 over here. But if we take a look from the base to here is 1.2. So what I need to do, I can select this wall and move it in this direction. It's Z, and I want it to be from the base 0.6. Okay, now it's the same. So the length of this is 2.4, and over here is 2.4 as well. So now we can close this one. Maybe if I move the plane to the bottom, I mean to where all the keys start, not keys, but all the canals. So maybe it will be easier to make all the shapes later on. I think I went too far. Okay, so we have this canal over here. I will just extend it. Okay, so now I think I can cut. And we have a beautiful hole. It's 1.2, just like all the rest. Yeah, but I was looking at it. I was thinking of moving this canal a bit to the right. Okay, these are separate parts. Okay, I was thinking I will break something. because it seemed like there was a little bit of an anomaly. But now the whole wall looks okay. Okay, I can't move it. Because of this shape. But if I connect these two, it should be better. On one hand, connecting these two parts is not a good idea because in this CAD, if you connect two things, then you can only try to cut them. But separating those two parts might be difficult later on. So what I can do one shape, just like a mock-up. So I can fill this too. So this is how the canal would look like. And now I can move it all the way to this wall. I have to check if anything will break if I just move this canal all the way to the right and then check on the Bamboo Studio if this will be printed okay still. So this is the part, and with the canal moved a little, Let's check with the other one if it was like one piece. Okay, let's export that and import into Bamboo, and we can take a look how it will print. Let's call it vol 35. Most probably I have one. Oh no, there's no file with this name. That's good. Okay, let's jump into Bamboo. Let's see how it will slice. Maybe just disable supports. Which side was it? Over here. Oh, no, okay, it looks more or less fine. This wall is a little bit thin. But I think the point of concern was with the canal. But if it looks okay, should be fine. I think I can remove this one. I've used that to cut the canal, but it's not important. I mean, it's not needed anymore. I think I can move it, move this wall a little bit. I think I'll add one more plane. That will be midpoint. It's gonna be easier to move stuff like here. Can I move it from here? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, not a problem. I will just do it this way. Just grab these two walls, put an anchor on this one. Okay, something didn't work. So again. And I will move it all the way to here. I think we have a clean tunnel now. Oh no, not really. So we can move this space. Okay, move it up to here. So now it should be fine. Let's do a quick check. Okay, so we have a really nice tunnel for our wires. So this part is done. We have the hook over here. I keep hitting this camera. Okay, so now we have to focus on this part. And there is this one we have to close. It won't be needed anymore. I think I will move these two to this part, to this key. And then we can make one more maybe over here. Connect this one with this one. Just slice through. And maybe one more over here. Because those canals, it's never enough. Once you start wiring everything, it's very easy to run out of space. And I still have to make them a little bit taller. I will move those parts that are with volume. We don't need this. And this one. So it's all one group now. Okay, this one we need to close. So I think this one can stay. And then we need one more next to it. This one I think I will close. So I think if I pull it up all the way to here, okay, it's gone. I think I can select this wall. Let me just activate everything. And if I hold Control and just scroll, okay, so I can do it like this, and I can make a line. Well, actually, a rectangle would be better. So we have the surface now, and I can pull it like this. Question is, do I have a cut in this? I think I do. Yes, okay. So going back, so now I will just cut this shape in this key. And remove the stuff that we don't need. Yeah, so now we have a nice canal over here. Take a look. Okay, that's the one we just did. I see there's something here happening. Okay, something we missed. Okay, now it's fixed. Let's take a quick look one more time. Okay, so it's very nice. We have a straight line over here. And then we can use this part that we just created. Just move it a little bit and then cut another one. That was this one. And what is the standard distance, if I can call it like that, between the holes? 296. Is it everywhere like that? It would seem so. Oh no, not quite. So it depends on the space. Well, at least 1.2 millimeters between two canals is enough, because when we are printing, we can just hide the workbench. I usually leave like 3, how to call it, the filament is 0.4, so usually I just leave like three times thickness of the filament, and usually I do 3 walls, so that will be 1 2 3, so it's 1.2. 3 times 0.4 is 1.2. So I think I will do it the same over here. So if I can just move it, put an anchor here, and now I can do distance and do 1.2. Okay. And now I can extend this wall all the way to here. And this way we can cut it out from the shape. So let's cut from here first. From here. From here. And then from this. And if I hide it, and we take a look what we just done. Beautiful. So we have two canals over here. Also, this shape goes all the way this deep into the encoder, but it's not interfering with anything. So I would just leave it like that. If it was a little bit longer here, might end up inside the hole for the screw, but it's fine. Okay, so let's cut another one. We can reuse this one. I will just move it, rotate by 45. That doesn't really look good. Maybe like this. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's cut. Okay, looks good. Yeah, more or less it's fine. But then we need one more over here. And then fix these two. So, okay, we have only one exit over here and I won't be able to fit in another one. So I think I will do one cut like through this tree. Then this one, I will leave it where it is. I will open one more over here. There will be one here. And I think I will just go from here to here as well at an angle. Let's see if I can extend this one. Would it be okay? Okay, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so we have a nice cut all the way from the encoder to here. So that's good. Now we have to deal with this one. So I can still use the same, I can call it a cutter. Another cool feature is that I can easily align like shapes to some walls, like to have the same angle, for example. So if I choose this wall, maybe this edge, and I want to be the same direction, so I choose this one, orient object, and I can choose this one, and nothing happened. Okay, I have to select the whole thing. So now move, I can choose this edge and just orient object, and now it's oriented the same way. It's super convenient. Okay, how should I put it? Another thing that I can do, if I want some things to be like in the center of something that is not really easy to find a center, I can just do Alt Shift and click. So I can select this wall and Alt Shift this wall, and it's showing me the midpoint between them. So then I can just take this, move up to here, and this should be like the center between this wall and this wall. I'll just move it out a bit because we don't have to cut through here. Okay, so I will just cut this thing from here and from here as well. Then this. Okay, it already cut through here. So one more cut. I will just remove that. Okay, let's hide this. Maybe change view a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we have a nice tunnel through here as well. Okay, so this looks fine. So now we have to focus on this part. So I need to cut through this wall from this key, close this one, and open one more over here. So this one I can just close like this. Here I can do like that. Just click the wall and select rectangle, and it will highlight the canal that is touching it. So I can just quickly, this 275 shouldn't be like 2.8. Let's go back. I think I moved it some time ago, and I think I shrink it by accident. Yeah, 275. So I think I will move it. It's gonna be minus. Where did I put minus? This is minus 0.05. Okay, now it's 2.8. Yes, 2.8. this surface I can remove, and I can do new one, new rectangle, and this will be 2.8. Okay, now it's fine. And I can just pull. Okay. So we have to do cut. Okay, so this looks good. So one more over here. Maybe from here. We need 2.8. by 1.2. Okay. Where are we? Okay, over here. I wonder if I can cut through all of those shapes. Yes, I can. Okay, that's good. I think that's because they're in one group. If there were like a different groups, then I will have to cut separately. But okay, this works and it's okay. Okay, so how does it look like now? So we have those two and this additional one that goes all the way through here. We have two over here. This is the old part, so not much to change. We have additional connections over here, over here. I think I will add one more to these two. Yeah, that makes sense. So the more canals I have, there will be more possibilities to route the wires. Okay, so I can quickly add to this part. What's the length of this? Okay, 2.8. Okay, so if I do a rectangle over here, I can also press Shift if I remember. Okay, this will move it. So I want 1.1.2. And from here I can do my rectangle. So 2.8. And just cut it. Okay, I didn't cut. There is one setting in the menu where you can change the default action. So my default action is to not cut and not add, just create new shape. But you can set up default action and make it like cut by default. But I prefer to have it create new shapes, and then I can do whatever I want. I can cut, I can add, I can move them. So sometimes you have to specifically select when pulling that you want to cut or you want to add. Okay, now it looks so much better. So all the screws are untouched. So we don't collide any of the canals with any of the screw holes. So that's okay. Looks like we have plenty of connections available. We can route almost anything from anywhere. And we did, we do need a lot of wires to connect everything, even though there's so few keys, but still. Okay, so I was supposed to make those canals a little bit bigger. So the total height of the base is 4.2 from what I see. Oh, this is 3 over here. Okay, this is a special space for this tiny resistor. I can show you maybe next stream. So yeah, so the thickness is actually 4.2. So what's the distance from the top of the canal to the plate? 2.4. So technically we can do 1.2 more to make them 2.4 millimeters height. Hey, thanks for following. Rudo Brody 83. Thanks, man. At this ratio, next week we'll be making the controller. I mean, at the speed of gaining followers. Okay, so the question is, if I make it 2.4 and that will be just 1.2 from the top. So if the canal is 2.4, so from the top of the bottom plate to where the canal starts, to this part, I will have only 1.2. Should be enough. And that actually doubles the space for me. And I really wanted to use different wire this time around, because I've been usually using the one that is like this. So it's copper wire for jewelry. Actually, this one doesn't have any protection, isolation. So this one I only use for the ground. But there are other ones that you can get with isolation. But there is one more. Some time ago I got this one, and it's a wire wrapping wire, and it's very nice because it's isolation. It's one core, but the issue is if I want to use it to wire Chordie, there's not enough space. Some of the things will just don't, I mean, some of the wires, some of the connections just won't fit. And this one will be easier to solder, because the other one, I think it's used for the transformators. So it has this very thick, like enameled isolation, which is very difficult to remove. Or we can also use the tiny one. This one. So I think it's 0.1. This one is super easy to use because it's quite small, very thin. It's isolated, and it's very easy to melt the isolation. So once you're soldering, it will quickly melt, but it won't affect like the whole wire. So it's very easy to solder to a point. But the issue is that it's kind of too tiny. I mean, I have one keyboard wired with it, and you can see the encoder doesn't work. So I was hoping maybe if I use the bigger one, maybe it'll be easier to have a fully functional keyboard. And the 0.1 is kind of difficult to route, especially when it's get crowded at some points, because it's so thin. It doesn't really have the stiffness to be pushed through. Okay, let's do one more check with the wires. I mean the canals for the wires. It should be okay. Looks like plenty of space. Okay, so what we need to do, we have to change the canals thickness. I'm not quite sure at this moment if I want to do it all the way to 1.2. That will give us 3 layers from the top to the beginning of the canal. Maybe I will do just 1 millimeter, or maybe 0.8 makes more sense. So then there will be 4 layers to the top. So we have to do that. And then over here, this space, it's meant for this. So these are small potentiometers, and I plan on using them to set up the infrared, because just using the constant resistor, it's very difficult to get like a good sensitivity. And if I have a potentiometer like this, I will be able to adjust live. So sometimes it catches fast, sometimes it catches slow. So with this, I will be able to have like the sweet spot. So that's what we need to do as well. Figure out how to fit it in. I think I had it done before. I just need to find the prints to confirm if it really fits. So this infrared, we don't have to touch anything over here. So these two empty slots, that I will use it for like the base resistor, and then the resistor to set up to adjust will be placed over here. Okay, so these holes are not, they don't make sense because the resistor will be here. I guess I can close them. So then when I will be wiring stuff, so I have to go around either through here or through here directly, because this will be blocked in a way. Yeah, but that's still okay. There's plenty of space. Okay, so I will leave it for the next stream for Friday. We will take a look at those canals, and I will check in the meantime this potentiometer, if it fits here and if it needs any adjustments. And then if everything is fine, I think we can do the other side, fix the canals, and maybe start the print. And maybe next week we can try to start building. Oh, we see how it goes. Most probably something will break along the way, and we'll have to like sacrifice 2 more streams just to fix it. Okay, but for now it's fine. I don't see anything that might be broken. Like looking at all the canals, doesn't seem like there's anything like crossing or being pinched or anything. So there should be plenty of space. Yeah, looks about right. Okay then. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for following the channel. I hope to see you on Friday, where we will do some more work, or maybe less work. We see how it goes. Yeah, and we still have to take a look at the visualization app, which is totally broken. But maybe we can do it after we are done with the CAD. Okay. So anyways, thank you for joining. I see you on Friday, and have a good one.